Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with my review of Thor: Love and Thunder. So, Thor: Love and Thunder is the fourth Thor movie, making Thor the first character to have more than three movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But in the movie, he reunites with Jane Foster, who can now wield Mjolnir, to stop Gore the God Butcher. Some quick takes with that. Quick take is that it's a fun movie, though it does feel needlessly rushed. Anyway, moving on, our cast of note, we've got Chris Hemsworth returning as Thor, God of Thunder, Founding Avenger, Point Break, temporary Guardian of the Galaxy. We've got Natalie Portman as Dr. Jane Foster / Mighty Thor, astrophysicist recently diagnosed with cancer, Thor's ex-girlfriend, and has also discovered that she's worthy to wield Mjolnir. Tessa Thompson as King Valkyrie, ruler of New Asgard, is appointed by Thor when he went off into space with the Guardians, as well as the last Valkyrie. Does a good job of ruling her people, but does miss adventures. So, yeah. Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher, wielder of the Necro Sword, a ancient sword that is capable of killing gods, Gore is determined to wipe out all the gods. Taika Waititi returns as Korg, Conan warrior and friend of Thor. He narrates large portions of the film, actually. Then we've got Russell Crowe as Zeus. Really just from one scene, but still. Oldest of the gods, horny. Like, not just capital H, but like capital Horny. Which, I mean, it's fitting if you know Greek mythology. Where like 90% of it, actually more like 99% is one day Zeus was horny and rest of the story. So, yeah. What happens in the movie? While on an adventure with the Guardians, or after an adventure with the Guardians and Thor start looking at distress calls, and there's quite a few, many of which seem to be pointing to the deaths of gods, and one of them, in fact, it was sent by Sith. So Thor leaves the Guardians to take on Gore the God Butcher, leading him to return to New Asgard. After he arrives, however, Gore shows up, and actually about the same time, but Gore shows up and sends out shadowy creatures to attack the people of New Asgard. Thor, Korg, and Valkyrie deal with these creatures, as does the mighty Thor. Thor gets a little jealous of the fact that Mjolnir is being wielded by someone else, which also affects how Stormbreaker reacts with him. But yeah, it's revealed later that Jane went to New Asgard after kind of feeling compelled to go there. And while looking at the display of the broken Mjolnir, the shards of it started sparking, and well, then God was case and went to her, and she became Thor. A downside, however, is revealed that, much like in the comics, every time she becomes Thor, it undoes the cancer treatments she's going through. But Thor, Mighty Thor, King Valkyrie, and Korg opt to go after Gore the God Butcher. We got some fun bits, including a visit to Omnipotent City, where the plan is to raise an army of gods. Well, no spoilers, so yeah. But there's a there's a there's some really great scenes with Gore and our primary cast members. And well, yeah, I mean, we get two major, as is the standard for an MCU film. We get two major fight scenes between the hero or heroes and the villain. Um, I kind of feel like, as much as I did enjoy the film, I feel like it's really kind of showing some of the faults of the MCU as a whole. Which, yeah. Um, but anyway, so the ups and the faults of it are to me the biggest fault is that these are characters whose adventures work better in a serial format, like comic books or television shows. Not and while they can work cinematically, at the same time. Especially when you've got a character with as much history as Marvel's interpretation of Thor to choose stories from. Oftentimes, you can't really do the lead-ins to the story, such as everything that happened with Jane Foster. Basically, this movie kind of combines the Gore the God Butcher arc from Jason Aaron's run, as well as a very shortened version of the Jane Foster Thor run. The basic version is that after defeating Gore came the story, if I remember correctly. And it makes sense that this is how it goes. But during the crossover Original Sin, Nick Fury, who was revealed to be the villain of the story, told Thor Gore was right, leading to Thor dropping Mjolnir. A woman then is shown picking it up, though we don't see who the woman is. After a while, it's revealed that it's Jane Foster. She has cancer. Turning into Thor is undoing the chemo. What did Nick Fury mean when he said that Gore was right? While fighting Gore, Thor was told by Gore that no god is worthy. But so yeah, and we don't there's none of that. And Thor becoming unworthy leads him becoming the unworthy Thor and running around with the axe Yarnborn in an effort to prove himself worthy again. Overall, though, the movie still works. It's just like I said, there's some flaws. But what movie? It's hard to find a movie that does not have flaws. I mean, even to be fair, even the movies I consider to be perfect have at least small, teensy flaws. Anyway, so the ups and downs. The action scenes look like 80s metal album covers, and I am here for that. That actually goes a long way towards my liking of the film, especially initially. Jane's arc is handled well, in my opinion. It's one of those things where they still manage to, the humor present in throughout the bits of levity, the scenes of levity in Jane's arc actually work a lot better than a lot of the other moments of levity. I feel like those are kind of just necessary for the concept of a movie, a story about someone with cancer or dealing with cancer. Anyway, Christian Bale is absolutely amazing as Gore. And yeah, just wow. There's some fun side gags, which do kind of overstay their welcome a little bit. Some of these side gags are callbacks to some of the gags from Thor Ragnarok, Taika Waititi's previous Thor movie. A prime example: the play that was put on in Asgard in Ragnarok. The same Asgardian actors survived and are on New Asgard, and they are putting on yet another play based on the destruction of Mjolnir. And it just, I don't know, it just kind of it feels like, okay, once was was amusing. Twice, maybe that's going a bit. Okay, all right, but I'd probably, if there likely will be a fifth Thor movie, if they reuse that gag again, I will probably chuckle in the theater when I see it, but at the same time, it's just going to feel like, okay, yeah, we get it. It is nice seeing Ben Affleck, or not Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. I mean, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. I mean, yeah. It is fun seeing Matt Damon playing an Asgardian actor who's playing Loki. As it was also amusing seeing Sam Neill as an Asgardian actor playing Odin. But another downside is, honestly, I kind of wish this movie had come out after Guardians Volume 3, because it would have been nice to, see more than just a single adventure of Thor with the Guardians. And there are some points where the movie feels a bit rushed. This is actually the shortest Marvel movie in a while. I mean, that's not generally saying much. I mean, there have been multiple Marvel movies in the last few years that were pushing 3 hours. This one comes in just under 2, and yeah, there's points where it kind of feels like, yeah, okay, there was a lot more you could have worked in here, but why didn't you? But anyways, so my final thoughts and rating on the film, it's a fun continuation of Thor's MCU mythos, though, like I said, it does feel rushed and a little bit on the lazy side. The rating, 3.5 out of 5. It's good. It's fun. And I may try to see it a second time. Largely because I missed the first few minutes when I got to the theater to see it. But anyway, that's going to do it for now. If you've seen Love and Thunder, let me know what you thought in the comments below. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.